How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? You know what it is. Ooh, like it's never been done before. That's what we're about to do, and we're about to go where nobody has ever gone before. It's Thursday. Let's talk about it. If you don't know, we in the building. This is JF Investment, powered by Upskill Trading Academy. We're ready to go off the gate. No time wasted. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone is blessed. Wipe your feet on the rug. It's going down. We're talking about, of course, Creed 3 movie review. Before we begin, because ain't no stopping once we begin, we're giving a shout out to our sponsors. Pack Supermarket, the best chicken. You know it as dirty chicken. BB Tax Connection, you need your taxes. Stop playing around. We're talking about a professor. The tax professor is in the building. You need your taxes done. The professor got you. This is not a game. You need to be told what can be done, what cannot be done, and how to go about doing it. Stop playing around. If you want to go to a fly-by-nighter, if you already got your tax prepared or your tax, whatever you want to call him or her, and they're not going the extra mile for you, saying some new stuff every day, every year, because there's some new stuff going on every year. If it's not going down like that, throw it away in the garbage. Come to a new. If you got a tax preparer in the mall, please stop playing. We got 3 locations. We ain't playing no games, all right? It's going down. It's geared to you. Upskill Trading Academy. Hey, Upskill Fitness at Coach Jeff. Get at him, man. We doing big things over here as well. We want to give a shout out to Miss Land, no doubt. Miss Landa, go follow her. Of course, we want to give a shout out to Zoe Life, Culture Club. The list goes on and on. But how's everyone doing? Listen, without no further delay, let's get it on and popping, because we got a lot to say, a lot to do. Well, hopefully you're doing great. Let's get it popping. Let's go. Shout out to Grego, man, for this beat. Upskill, huh? Yeah. So, let's get into the play. Yes, indeed. And listen, I hope you have drunk your crump juice. Because if you're not on the same energy as me, we're about to take you there, okay? We're about to take you there, all right? As you can see, what's strapping on my chest, hustle hard, all right? Hustle hard. Let's get into this movie review, people. I know we've been ready for it. Let's get into the movie review. Share, let the people get on here, let the people know what's going on. Let's get into the movie review real quickly. How you doing? How you doing, Cristiano? We in the building. Hopefully everyone's listening. Family. Where should I begin? Where should I begin? First and foremost, hey, just go down this road with me, all right? Just go down this road with me. The movie, you got to go see it if you didn't see it. And if you did see it, then you're going to feel me and know just what I'm speaking of. Now, listen, there's been some movie reviews. I feel like I can relate to every single situation and scenario. Only thing that I cannot relate to is the fact that he had a daughter that was hearing impaired. She couldn't hear, so she was doing sign language. Other than that, I've been through everything the movie been through. I've been in them shoes, man. I can relate. And nobody's speaking about that, right? Nobody's speaking about this, through this perspective. They just say, oh, yeah, it's a great movie, man. We went to go see it. I like this. I like that. Let's talk the facts, people. And, a lot of it's opinionated, but love to see you. All right, so first and foremost, this was the first directorial movie from Michael B. Jordan, congratulations to him. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you something, that's not a small feat. That is not something easy to do. Why? Because that is technically the ninth part of Rocky, right? And the third series of Creed. That is extremely difficult. Why? Because you have sequels and trilogies. You have to try to beat the second one and beat the third one. You got to try to beat the one before it. Duh. You got to try to beat the one before it. You have to. Thus, Rocky 4, in everyone's opinion, was not everyone's opinion. I'm just saying, it seems like everyone's favorite Rocky 4, when he fought Ivan Drago. If he dies, he dies. Rocky 4 beat out Rocky Part 1, of course. It beat out Rocky Part 2 when Rocky fought Creed, which is Adonis, his father, right? It beat out Rocky 3 when Rocky 3 fought Mr. T. And so Rocky 4, boom, that was better than all the rest, right? In a lot of people's opinion. Then you have Rocky 5 when he went and fought when he went and fought the dude which was a real boxer. He was a real boxer, the guy who he was training, and Rocky was retired. He was training. He fought him in the middle of the street, right, with all the garbage cans and stuff. Rocky 5. Then you had Balboa, Rocky Balboa, right? And so that's like what 6, right? And then you had the Creeds come through. So it's very hard for. Here comes Jonathan B. Jordan to try to come beat that. Mind you, let me tell you something you may not have known. It took him 3 years to make this movie. 3 years to make this movie. In the midst of him making this movie, directing it now, he had plenty of movies, people. Remember, he had the Black Panthers going on. You know what I'm saying? He was in the Black Panthers and more movies at that. But it took him 3 years to direct this movie. And all I'm saying is that it is very difficult to make your first directorial movie a trilogy, man. That's hard to do. Did he fulfill the assignment? Did he conquer and succeed? Absolutely not, because people see me, I don't know the man. I'm going to tell you straight up. I don't know Michael B. Jordan. I don't love you like that. I like you as a person. I don't know you, but I like you as a person. I don't have nothing against you. I like that you're alive. You're a human being. You're doing your thing. More power, man. Hey, man, listen. But I'm just saying, I'm not being biased towards him. I'm saying in general, bro, I don't know you. I'm living my life, you living yours, but that was a great movie, man. Whoever, even if it wasn't you that made it, it was a great movie, but it happened to have been you that made it. That was a great movie, man. But let's keep on going, though, man. Let's keep on going. I just wanted to bring that out to the forefront, right? So he brings out the movie. He does the movie. Gets on the red carpet, right? Somebody comes, this girl comes and interviews him, talking about, oh, we know each other. She done put herself out there, man. I'm talking about, oh, we know each other. We got history. We was in such and such class together. He like, man, one thing about, listen, what's going on? What's going on? One thing about Michael B. Jordan, he in that moment, he let her off easy. You know what I'm saying? You could see the fumes in him, though. He really wanted to, but he's like he don't want no controversy. He's not about that. But he like, oh yeah, you called me corny, didn't you? You called me corny back in the day. She's like, no, I would never call you corny. What, man? That movie blew the box office. Listen, overseas, that first week it made over 10 million. Hey, man, it was a good movie. And like I said, I'm going to keep saying, I don't know the man. I'm not biased towards the man. It was a great movie. Even if he didn't make it, but it happened to him to make it, more power to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Good job. Let's keep going, though. The first movie or Rocky. How you doing, Miss Landa? Rocky/Creed movie that Stallone wasn't in it. I'm going to say that again. And you think that's small and minute. You think that's nothing. But you talking about, this is Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically, if you want to say 6, Rocky Balboa. which makes 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Creed would have never been here if Balboa and Rocky would have never been here. So you know what I'm saying? So Rocky plays a big part in it. No doubt about it. Listen, Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then come Creed. So if it wasn't for Rocky, it wouldn't have been no Creed. But it's the first movie Rocky not in there. Hey, what's the problem? What's going on? Hey, I don't mind, man. So the question is like, anyway, like, was there a place for Rocky? Yeah, we could have slid Rocky in there. You know what I'm saying? We could have slid Sylvester Stallone in there, but he wasn't in there. I just want to bring that out. Like, that's the first one he's not in it. You know what I'm saying? But it shows that we can have longevity with these series without Rocky being in there. Make a script without Rocky being in there. You know what I'm saying? I think it just showed that this can continue to go on without main man. You know what I'm saying? Big bro, we can continue to live on, you know what I'm saying, without big bro. And did he do it? Dang right he did. You know what I'm saying? He did that. Storyline, people. Let me talk to you about the storyline, man. Now, the storyline was so engulfed in passion. It had everyone locked in to where we forgot that this was a fighting movie. Am I lying? We so locked in the storyline, man. We forgot that this is a boxing movie. And when I say boxing movie, I mean violence and gore. We forgot about this is a violent movie in the sense of boxing violence, right? But this is a violent movie. and the storyline kind of like engulfed that, you know what I mean? And I love that, man. I love that because here go the fighting is just the icing on the cake to say, you know, hey, this is still a boxing movie, but the story hits you so hard, it's a harder punch than the boxing. So the boxing is like a jab, and the storyline is like the overhand right, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like the straight right. Huh? It's like the straight right, man. You know, watch out. Hey, well, watch out. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I mean, all right, I got carried away. My bad. But I'm saying the storyline was so good, you know, and I gotta big them up for that. You know why? You know why I'm saying that? My thing personally is mystery, suspense, action. Those 3 things. If it's in a movie, it got me. Those are I love mystery, suspense, because I like my brain to work. I like my brain to be working. I like to be, what's going on next? And then you be suspense too. And then you trying to figure it out with the mystery. And then you got some action in it. Oh, Lord. And that's just what Creed did. I mean, listen, man. Listen. Jonathan Majors, man. Jonathan Majors played that part by facial expressions. Oh my gosh, bro. And you know what the thing about it is? He's not even a villain. Oh, who's the greatest villain? Is it Mr. T? Is it Creed? Is it Ivan Drago? You know, is it I can't remember the dude name he fought in the middle of the street. Is it him? Because he's a real boxer anyway. Is it him? Is it any of the ones he played in Creed 1, 2? Or is it Jonathan Majors? Listen, in my opinion, Jonathan Majors was not even a villain. How can you be a villain when you ain't caused no damage? You just got out of prison. Had one damaging fight and maybe a spar or two. Had one damaging fight and you the biggest villain. You're not in the category of villain. Okay, you're just a guy who brings fear in people's heart, man. You just bring fear, man, and facial expressions, man. Yo, his facial expressions was so grimy. It was so scary because it was grimy. I'm like, this is a grimy dude, bro. Like, you don't know what he gonna do next. And listen, who you talking to? I seen some dudes in my day. Hey, Some people can even say I was a grimy dude. You know what I'm saying? I know about grimy. I know about, listen, he's malicious. Like you don't know what he's gonna do next. And to say that, my favorite part, and I was supposed to say my favorite part for last, but I'm just saying, man, my favorite part was where the expense built up so high it cannot go even higher. It built up so high, and at that moment, Michael B. Jordan was in a position where he was the most vulnerable in the whole movie. He was, I'm not gonna say where, when, I'm gonna leave that last, but he was most vulnerable in the whole movie at that point where Jonathan Majors was like the most grimiest, and then Michael B. Jordan was his most vulnerable. Oh, how suspenseful is that? You don't know what's gonna happen next. This dude is ready to kill something, and then Michael B. Jordan is at his most vulnerable point at that same moment. They clash at the same time, the same scene. Oh my gosh. If you know what it is, type it in. If you don't, we're going to get to it in the last moment. But man, it was so grimy, and with his facial expressions, he did that, man. I mean, from the first moment you seen him on a car, you already knew he was grimy, man. Yeah, man, hustle hard. Hustle hard. I'm kind of hot too, man. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I got the hoodie game on. Huh? Only thing I'm missing is my mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I'm missing is mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You want to be. All right, but listen. Yeah, man. But back to it. Beautiful movie, man. Yeah, I mean, the storyline was great. The storyline was awesome. And some things I want to point out about the storyline, right? Like, one thing about this Rocky movie, right? And one thing we need to, just look out for was that, there was no sex scenes. There was one scene where he got a little intimate with his wife early on. Excuse me. Early on, and then boom. The scene went out, right? I guess we know what happened after that or whatever. But all this was done without a sex scene. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Also, I had something to drink. Also, I like the fact that the scenes were beautiful, right? The sceneries were beautiful. And I'm not talking about when they were training. I'm talking about all throughout the whole movie, right? More so his house. But I like the fact that they never showed the front of the house. It wasn't like a show-off glamorous movie. The scenes were great. I like it. It's like he was on his porch when he came inside his house, and they were on like the maybe the porch or the deck. It was outside. It was very nice. You could tell it was part of his house. But never did you see the house. Never did you see anything glamorous. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't like, wow. It was inside the house. The living room was beautiful. Outside was beautiful. And every other scene was beautiful. It was nice. It was grimy when it needed to be grimy. It was light when it needed to be light. Like everything, bruh. We're gonna talk about some bad stuff too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if there is any. But I just wanted to point that out too. That I like the fact that it wasn't nothing showing off. It did it without really a sex scene. And it was family oriented. Like all other Rocky movies. That's what I liked about it too, was family oriented, man. And throughout all of Rockies were family based, man. And I think, Rocky had a huge family. He had his uncle, he had his wife, of course, he had his son, he had his daughter. This one, he just had one daughter, but it was family based, right? So Ms. Nana said what I liked the most was that both men admitted fault and reconciled and made peace with the past. Bygones be bygones. Yeah, it didn't have to end like that though. But yeah, that's a good thing too. Had it not ended like that, it still would have been a great one though. I just want to point that out. But yeah, I think the morals, by it ending like that, it emphasized more on the morals, right? So I think by it ending like that, it gave her like an emphasis, an exclamation point on the morals of the story. And I'm going to get to that, right? Because again, we saying this, the storyline was so impactful. The storyline engulfed and clouded about it being a boxing movie. So yeah, definitely. But the ego and pride to the, put the ego aside, pride to the side. Yeah, nah, but we need that in our community. We need a lot of that in community, which is why I'm speaking about this, because there's so much we can relate on. Let me get to it, right? So let me get to it. So let's go back. It's family based, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm talking about the family base right now, right? All Rocky movies were family based. And this one too was family based. I mean, the daughter had a lot of scenes, right? And love for one another, most definitely. The daughter had a lot of scenes. The wife had a lot of scenes. The mom had some scenes, right? And of course, every other individual had scenes. Even the trainer had scenes. Even Felix, the fighter, had scenes. Even Felix's mom has. Everyone had an ample amount of scenery to go. It was not like no one trick pony, fly by nighter. He gave everyone their due diligence in this movie. He gave everybody a chance to express themselves. And I think the least amount of person that didn't express themselves or didn't get a chance to, you know, show the audience that, you know, about me more was maybe Felix, right? Felix was just sparring in the ring, and then boom, he had the fight, and then in the middle of that, they got into the living room or the dining room, and they were saying like, look, I got one person. I know they ended up like we wanted, but I got one person for you. Who is it? It's the one we training. He like, nah, you know, he like, nah. He had to think about it. I think maybe had he been standing up, he would have showed more of himself. But he was just sitting down and he was like, nah. So that was the least amount of person, in my opinion, that had you know, time or amount of screen time to express himself, but everybody else had their scene to express themselves. Now let's go into Michael B. Jordan. As a husband, y'all, we're gonna hit the husband first, and we're going to different categories. Stick with me now. We're going into the husband first. Very hard to open up. How you gonna have a wife? Listen to me now. How you gonna have a wife and you never told her your darkest past, which is you were raised in a home? With that being said, he buried that. He buried that. He buried that and didn't want to dig it up ever again. That's hard, man, for a man to bury that and not express it to the one he lays with, chills with, you know, have a kid with. Bro, he buried that. He buried that and chose not to bring it out ever. The only thing and the only way that brought it out was because Jonathan B. Jordan brought it out. But had that man not been around, Michael B. Jordan would have died with that, man. He would have passed away with that. Coffin would have closed with him on that, man. And that's deep. That means that it doesn't matter who that person may be that's in front of him all day long. He chose to slam the door, slam his heart, slam everything shut on that part of his life. And that happens. You know what I mean? That happens. Does he need to open up? It showed that, yeah, he needs to open up. Yeah, he eventually needs to open up about that because it's killing him on the inside. And even if it's not killing him on the inside, it's killing those who love him because they seeing it's not rocking good in his soul. They seeing it's not rocking well with him in his soul. So what you gonna do about it, Michael B. Jordan? You gonna either let it out, express it, or you gonna continue to hold it back, and we gonna both, or all three of us, your daughter included, act like this never happened, act like you're not outliving this right now in the present time of day. Something need to happen, bro. You needed to let it out. You know what I'm saying? And who better to let it out than her? She cares about you. And she's saying, look, you need to tighten up because she's not going to be seeing you like this. So you need to make a decision. Is that understood? Yeah, it's understood. So, bro, you needed to let it out. You know what I'm saying? My brother was raised in a home, and we had to go. He was raised in a home because he used to get in trouble. You know, they took him out of our home. He was a real one. Real troublemaker. So much so that they took him out of our house, and he had to go live in a home. Even though he had our home, he had to go live in a home. And I actually went and visit him a couple of times, bro. All boys home. Bro, that is not a place you want to be in, period, man. That's what I'm saying. I done been there, man. That is not a place you want to be in, bro. It is not, man, because if us, which us didn't bring him clothes or shoes, whatever, those other people, boys that's in they people bringing them clothes and shoes, you looking like a bum. And you feeling like a bum. And now you're going to steal and fight. Now you're going to steal and fight. Because they're going to be bullying you and cracking jokes on you and stuff like that. Like y'all ain't from the same hood. Like you ain't just down the street from me when we was in the house. It's ugly, man. Them homes is ugly, man. And it just so happened that the head of the home was beating on food, man. Was beating, would make it even more harder. Now everybody, sure enough, when you see him knock his teeth out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, hey, listen, I'm not promoting no violence. I'm just saying, that's why I felt so passionate about it, because I done been there, man. I done been there. I've been there. So, with that being said, everything was so realistic. So here it comes. He beating up the dude. We already know he beating up the dude. Gun. Hey, put the drop. Police come. Drop the gun. In my mind, I'm thinking, damn. Okay, so now somebody, as the gun is on the floor, one of them finna pick up the gun and point. Nobody get killed, but the cops finna arrest him. He go to prison for that. But he just happened to have some priors, and he went to prison for, pulling out maybe a legal gun, whatever like that. And maybe even taking a rap for jit that ran. You know what I'm saying? All right. So anyways. Wow. So the question is now, let's go into incarceration. If there's no questions about the husband or anything like that. Woo! Let's go into the incarceration, people. My goodness. Listen, it happens all the time. And this is speaking for someone who was incarcerated once upon a time. When you first get in there, man, them old coons, them old heads gonna let you know, man. Hey, we see you. We see you, homeboy. We see you getting them visits every week. We see you getting them food, boy. You getting that commissary, boy. Your books on swole. We see you now. We see you with the letters coming in, boy. We see you. We see you, boy. But listen, give it some time. All that finna go away. In my mind, I'm like, what is old coon talking about, man? Is he hating, or I just brush it off? But it is so true, man. After a while, abandonment, man. You know what I'm saying? After a while, people start dropping like flies. You know what I'm saying? After a while, your whole team that's with you is adios. Out of sight, out of mind, adios. Where once you was making them phone calls and they was accepting that collect call, you getting a dial tone now. All you hearing is, Pale Espanol, Puese, Dos. That's all you hearing, man. That's all you hearing on the phone, man. And them visits, all you doing is watching other people go to visits. And that money you was getting with the food and all that, whatever you were buying with it, whatever, that slow down too, homeboy. The people, that leave, or eventually, I ain't gonna say leave, man. The people that you don't hear from anymore, right? Should there be a grudge, or what was that about? Give me the whole deal about that. The people that loved you, or they I'm not saying they stopped loving you. I'm just saying that they're no longer there. What's the rundown on that? Now let me tell you this, from an incarceration perspective, right? It hurts, man. From an incarceration perspective, it hurts. As you can see, they names, man. Jonathan Majors, man. It hurt him. You can see it in his face and whatever, man. That's reality. It hurts him that Michael B. Jordan never hollered at him. And I'm going to get to all that. I'm going to get to that. But from a incarceration perspective, it hurts, right? It hurts. And at the time, when you're looking for someone to talk to, you're looking for someone to express to, you're looking for that love, you're looking for, some outside feed, you're looking for whatever, and you cannot find it, and you cannot find it anymore, it hurts at the time. But, by the grace of the Most High, when freedom does come and you begin to live out freedom, right? So even when you jump, it can be a little tiny bitterness there, where you try to stiff arm everybody or be like, hey, nobody was there for me. But as time goes on, you begin to have a different mindset. Like, hey, I'm living out life, so I can kind of relate to the people who were once there for me. Like, it's not that they stopped loving me. It's not that they ever stopped thinking about me. I don't ever doubt that people stop thinking about me now. I know, I don't ever know. It's just that for whatever reason, they didn't pick up the pen, or for whatever reason they didn't put money on the books for you to call, or for whatever reason they didn't holler at moms for you. Everyone has their different reasons, and I'm not. We shouldn't hold none of them accountable for that. Like, nobody's at fault for not hollering at you. First of all, they didn't invite you to go in that place. You know what I'm saying? And second of all, we got to understand that everybody's here for a season, man. Majority of people are here for a season, and that's facts, man. Majority of people are here for a season, and when we can understand that, when we can get that in our minds, and feel like, oh, this is my best friend, we're gonna be friends forever, or man, I grew up with him, we're gonna be together forever. That's your world. You made that world up in your mind. You made that world up. That's not life. That's not how life plays out. Life doesn't play out like 2-3 people are here forever, or friendships are here forever. Nah, that's your world. That's the world that you made up. In reality, man, people are here for a season, and it's a great season when they're there. You learn from them. You learn what to do, what not to do. Good evening, Lumens, man. We hitting it up. You're halfway through. I love you. You learn from them. It's a great time. Even if things go bad, we pulled it through. You know, you learn so much, and you grow and you strengthen up so much. But then when they leave, you're in despair. You want to kill yourself. You're mad at the person. You're angry. You're bitter. Bro, when we get it in our minds, I'm speaking for me too. When we get it in our minds that people are here for a season, a beautiful season at that, people are here for a season, then emotionally we'll be better off. And this is coming from someone I have met more people in my lifetime than perhaps 10 people will meet in their whole lifetime, bro. I met people, man. And I'm not talking about met, man. I'm talking about how you doing, what's going on. I'm talking about spoken. You know what I'm saying? We interact with people, man. And I understand that I may not see them tomorrow. And when I mean tomorrow, I mean, you know, maybe next week, whatever. So in my mind, I'm good. Like, if I never see them again, and I know it sounds kind of harsh, but that's life, man. And if you're living in a world that you feel like, oh, this person gonna be here forever, they should have been here for me, they should have hollered at me, they should have sent me a letter, they should have called, they should have came and visited, they should have hollered at mom, bro, people are here for a season, man. If you find some people or persons that duke it out with you and hold on to you no matter what your flaws are, whatever, then those are angels on earth, man. Those are angels on earth. And I do want to shout out one. I want to shout out Buffy, man, to the death. I want to shout out Buffy, man. Buffy, you know who you are, man. Buffy, for my whole and this is not about me. This is about the movie. But I'm just trying to relate. Someone who can relate. Buffy, through my whole incarceration, man. Through my flaws and all, man. Through my flaws and all, man. That's an angel, man. I understand that's an angel. All right? I understand that. But so the question is, Jonathan B. Majors felt like, man, Michael B. Jordan, you ain't never holler at me. But at the same time, there was kids, man. Y'all was kids, and I had a kid mentality, so much so that you ran when the cops came. It's a kid mentality. You can't fault me or put a burden on me like that and say, I'm a kid, not even a teenager yet. I'm a kid, and I'm supposed to hold on to you for 18 years throughout manhood, and things happen in my life every day, bro. When I used to be incarcerated, we used to know that in the course of one day, so much can happen out there in the free world, man. So much can happen. Whereas us, it's the same damn routine. 10 days go by, that's all one day for y'all. One day, so much can happen, but it got to take 10 days for something interesting to happen to us. So I understand, man, that in the course of everyone's day, things happen. They go through life, man. It's not that they forget about you. It's not that, you know, they don't care about you, they don't love you. It's just that they're living life, and for whatever reason, whether you want to make it a reason, an excuse, however you want to look at it, I look at it for a reason, man. Whatever reason, they didn't holler at you, man. It's not the end of the world. It's not that they didn't care about you. Let's not forget about prayers, though. Prayers go further than a holler would ever do, man. How about if they was praying for you, though, man? You never know. And that prayer, stopped that guy from coming to pound your face in, man. That prayer stopped that officer from beating you down. That prayer stopped that officer from spraying you and killing you from half to death. You know what I'm saying? That prayer stopped that officer from setting you up to the biggest dude in there to break you in half, man. That prayer stopped you from falling in the... Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I just wanted to say that about the incarceration deal. You know what I mean? Dude was hurt that you never holler at me, but he understood at the end. We understood at the end that, hey, man, it's not your fault, man. It's not your fault you didn't holler at me. We was kids, man. And that's the perfect mentality. That's the perfect mentality we have to understand. Human beings are human beings. You can't fault them. I got some people, and I'm going to just end with this. I got some people right now that, you know what I mean, I was like, hey, man, I'm going to holler at you when I jump. I'm going to get at you. I try to not, my word is my word, so I try to not make any promises. And anybody I encounter with, I always thought, I always say, is this somebody I could chill with on the street? So what level of friendship do I place this person? If I can't chill with you on the street because your flaws is too heavy and they're going to be wearing me down, then I put you in a certain category. So if I tell you I'm going to holler at you when I jump, it's still some people I said I'm going to holler at because I felt like I could chill with them on the street, but I'm still lacking. I'm still lacking, and I still don't holler at them. Why? I'm living life. And sometimes it's hard to go. It's hard to go back, man. It's hard to go back because I'm sorry, man. It's hard to go back, bro. It's hard to go back. I gotta sit there and write and be like, what you doing? Then I gotta think about what they doing, which is what I used to do. I don't want to think about that no more. Too much. I'm not saying I'm burying it, but I don't want to go back, man. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to go back. I know that was a chapter in my life that I really want to close. Not bury, but I want to close, man, and hollering at y'all. So anyway, man, that's an incarceration deal, boy. Any questions, anything y'all got to say, holler at me, man. But let's talk about the boxing in this movie, man. Let's talk about the boxing. As you can see, they boxing in back of me, you know what I'm saying? They hitting it up. This boxing in Creed 3 was very peculiar. You ask yourself, how many boxing scenes that you can make great? Like how many better boxing scenes than the other? You got plenty boxing movies. Plenty boxing movies. You know what I'm saying? I remember they had the boxing movie with the girl. I forgot the name of the movie with the girl, and she got paralyzed, right? I think they uppercut her and she fell on something and she got paralyzed, right? With Clint Eastwood, you know what I'm saying? That was so many boxing movies. So you think to yourself, what can we do that's different? Man, Michael B. Jordan did it, man. He found a way because of his creativity. And they say, you hear over and over, he liked anime. So he liked anime. So he kind of meshed the two and it worked out perfectly. But, that the scene where everyone else is gone and it's just those two guys fighting it out, man. And they weren't physically fighting. Hello? They weren't physically fighting. They were emotionally fighting. And it was their young selves fighting and their old selves fighting. Michael B. Jordan was fighting himself as well. Jonathan Majors was fighting himself as well. It was a lot of fights going on within the fight. Even though it was just that one scene when nobody was there. I know. And then, hearing from them, of course, too. It was so many fights going on within the fight. You just seen two men fighting, nothing else. But it was emotional fight. It was a fight against their younger selves, and then it was a fight against them. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that everyone else was gone, and it was just them two fighting. You heard the punches, you seen the facial expression, you seen the blood, they were duking it out, man. They were duking it out for what? For understanding. They were duking it out for understanding. They were duking it out just for a better understanding. They didn't hate each other. They didn't really hate each other, man. But what I loved, and I'm telling you, I'm going to my favorite scene again. Let me say, what you mad? He said, what you mad? Try living in the cell watching somebody else live your life. That's what, listen, Are you really mad at Michael B. Jordan? Because Michael B. Jordan didn't take anything away from you. He didn't take anything away from you. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take anything away from you. It was your decisions on having the gun. Michael B. Jordan seen Jonathan Majors with the gun. He didn't know where he got the gun from. So the gun came about without even Michael B. Jordan knowing. So it's not like Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors got the gun together. You got the gun on your own. You got the gun on your own. I just happen to be fighting a guy, and then you come and save me with the gun. I got nothing to do with you having a gun, bro. You a boxer, a better boxer than me. You could have beat those guys up with me, or beat them guys up for me, but you chose to pull out the pistol, bro. So so you can't be mad at me. You can't be mad at me. I didn't take anything from you. Really, you're mad at yourself, and you just jealous that I made it, right? And this jealousy, it is what it is. It was a jealousy to the point where I want everything. I'm coming for everything you owe. Everything you got. I already told him. I'm coming for everything. He said, I'm coming for everything you got. Come on, man. I'm coming for everything you got. But really, listen. When he told him he coming for everything you got, Michael B. Jordan didn't have anything. He was already retired. He was a retired champ. So what you coming for? Did y'all catch that? He said, I'm coming for everything you got. But when he said that, hey, man, it was really, man, him against him. You know what I'm saying? He was fighting himself. He was mad at himself, and he was fighting himself. Michael B. Jordan just happened to be in the way. You know what I'm saying? He just happened to be in the way. But the boxing overall, man, the boxing was great. You know what I'm saying? You can see the sweat pouring off them on every punch. You seen the blood flowing. You seen their faces. Everything looked realistic. Their faces getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? He stopped in slow motion a couple of times. Stopped in slow motion and zoomed in. You know, let's just say he stopped the scenes in slow motion, right? Whoop. But when he stopped the scene in slow motion and zoomed in a certain body part, that was different, right? That was very different. Because even in the karate movies, they slow it down, right? Slow it down. Ooh, every move is slowed down. But when you slow down and zoom to a body part, zoom it, that was different. You did that, my brother. You did that, my brother. So, you know, that was different. The boxing was good. Let me say this, though. The uppercuts, the uppercuts was kind of like crazy to me, right? Because it looked like every time he threw an uppercut, they showed the behind scene. So all you seen was the hand go up, right? So all you seen was the hand go up, right? Whoop! And I'm like, dang, that don't look right as a boxer, because with an uppercut, you turn into the uppercut, right? You don't just, right? So with the uppercut, you turn in with your whole body. You turn in, right, with the uppercut and go up. So the uppercut is never like here. The uppercut is more so your body turned and it's here. You know, it could be maybe right there. You understand what I'm saying? So I was paying attention to that too. It was just, I was like, what was that? Because it's a behind shot. But other than that, man, you know, the boxing was great. I can't really. The boxing was great, man. We gotta give a good the acting. What about the acting? The acting was man, they did that. They did that. Nobody was lacking in the acting. Nobody was lacking in the acting, man. Even the trainer, you know, and where we know the trainer from? I know we know the trainer from Above the Rim. He played in Above the Rim. I think that's his most famous part. I think that's his most famous movie. He played in Above the Rim. Even his acting was good. You know, he had a couple funny scenes where he like, oh, no, don't put him in there. You know what I'm saying? He had some good scenes too. His acting was good. Everyone's acting was good. The wife, her acting was very good. The mom, you already know. She already know. You already know. That's Huxtable right there. That's Miss Huxtable right there. She did great. And again, man, I think Jonathan Majors, man, stole it, man. I think Jonathan Majors stole it. Oh my gosh, man. I think he stole it, man. And again, there are some movies that you can watch over and over and over again. And there's some movies you just watch once and you're good. And then there's some movies that you feel like, man, that was a waste of my life. 2 hours waste of my life that I could never get back. Right? But this one, I feel like I can watch it over and over again just because Jonathan Majors facial expressions, man, as a bad guy, man. I mean, you didn't know what he was gonna do next. You could see the maliciousness in his face. You just not know what he gonna do next. I'm like, boy, this guy's capable of snapping your neck. Back up from that dude, man. Man, back up from that guy, man. But it was amazing, man. I like that. Motivation. One thing about the motivation, there was no motivational speeches. Huh. Unlike Rocky movies. No motivational speeches. No, sir. You know what I mean? Even one of the more famous that recently, he's like, Rocky like, quitters quit and that ain't you. You know? I got that recorded somewhere too, man. Rocky Balboa be giving a speech. But that's another thing taken away because Rocky is not there. I believe if Rocky was a part of that movie, he would have had them. He would have said, "You missing out on the speech. Put a speech in there." Because all of Rocky's speeches have went viral, man. You know what I'm saying? All of Rocky's speeches has went viral, and there was no speech in there, man. No, sir. The only crump motivation was when the wife said, "Don't let him," or whatever she said. What she said? Don't let him take our life, or you got to stop him. Yeah, she said you got to stop him. But as a speech, there was no motivation speech, as the Rocky movies do. So that's one thing we pointed out on that movie too, is that, man, I missed out on the motivations, man. I love seeing Rocky because it's the motivation speech is going to come through. You know what I'm saying? What is? I remember Apollo Creed like, "What's wrong with you, Rock? There's no tomorrow. There's no tomorrow, Rock." Woo, them things get you crunk, boy. But even the uncle, man, the uncle in Creed and Rocky 5, right? He's like, "Man, just knock my tooth out, Rock. Man, go over there." Hey, you know what I'm saying? He gave a speech a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Hey, Rocky boy, you ain't play with Rocky. You scared of Rocky, man. I don't care what none of y'all say, boy. When Rocky got his mind made up, we scared. We scared. Rocky gonna knock something out, man. Rocky, man. Anyways, let me go back. But yeah, man, motivation. I missed out on the motivation, but the movie overall was inspiring and it was motivating overall. I didn't walk out of the movie like I wanted to be a boxer, right? So, boxing and football is my favorite sports, right? Yeah, I kind of be tying up boxing, football. I can't really say it, but I didn't walk out of the movie like I wanted to, which is not. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying I didn't walk out of the movie like I motivated to box. You know what I'm saying? I didn't walk out of there motivated to box nothing, which is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But I think like Rocky 5, you walked out of there ready to box something, man. You know what I'm saying? So you can see the slight difference in the boxing there. Like I said, the movie, the icing on the cake was the boxing, but it was the storyline, man, that was captivating. It was a storyline that was the cloud over everything, and it's beautiful. I loved it like that because, like I said, you give me some suspense and some mystery, and that suspense boil up to the fight at the end. Ooh! And let's talk about the soundtrack, man. All my life, grinding all my life. All my life, grinding all my life. Represent. Nothing to say twice. Come on, man. Nipsey, man. The man had Nipsey in there twice. The man had Nipsey in there when he came out the first time to fight Felix. And then he had Nipsey in there again when he came out to fight Michael B. Jordan, man. With the last time that I checked. Last time that I checked with YG in there. You know what I'm saying? With YG in there. Yeah, man. Shout out to Nip, man. Shout out to Nip. Jonathan Majors actually said he was listening to Nipsey through his whole, this whole movie. The whole movie was being made. He was jamming out Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? He was jamming out Nipsey, and then Michael B. Jordan caught wind of it. He like, we gonna put it in there. We gonna put it in there. So the man came out with Nip, man, and shout out to Nipsey. Shout out to Dreamfield who made the soundtrack. If you listen to the promo I made, it got this one of my favorite songs on my boy, and shout out to the first song that was played in the movie, which was Dre, man, which was Dre on his what was the the title card of his album? Dre, man. But anyway, the name of the song was What's the Difference Between Me and You? You know? Shout out to that, which is an awesome beat. One of the best beats he made. No doubt, one of the best beats he made. And yeah, he came out with that. That was one of the first songs, or I think it was the first song on there. So, you know, shout out to Nip, shout out to Dre, shout out to the soundtrack made. It was good. It was good selection, man. It wasn't no slow jams in there or anything like that. It was just hip hop. And but it was great. It was great stuff. And now, you know, finally, my favorite part, man. My favorite part is when they met on the beach, on the sand, I should say, at night. And Jonathan Majors ended up, you know, he was champ. And at that moment, Jonathan B. Majors had nothing to lose, man. I said nothing to lose. He had no need for Michael B. Jordan anymore. He had no need for him, so he can speak freely now. He can say whatever the heck he want to say now. He can say how he really feels because he didn't need anything from Michael B. Jordan anymore. So he wasn't in a matter of holding his tongue or anything of that nature. So at that point I was like, that's the apex. That right there is the highlight of the movie right there. As far as how intense it can get. Right there, it can get no more intenseful as it already is. Right there. And then also, like I said, that was the most vulnerable point for Jonathan B. Majors because he realized that, of course, Michael B. Jordan didn't need him. That Jonathan Majors didn't need him, but at the same time, he was by himself. He had nobody with him to help him if something did go down, and he was on sand. he was on sand. If you're on sand, that's harder for you to defend yourself because, you know, you're slipping, if anything, you know. So I just felt like it was the most vulnerable point for Michael B. Jordan, and it was the most highlighting point in time for Jonathan Majors because he just won a championship, man. So at that time, they were talking grimy, and he was talking what he wanted to say, and he was saying everything he wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? He was saying everything he wanted to say. He was letting it out. Even when he punched him and he was down on one knee, he was saying everything he wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, that was my favorite part right there. So, the movie in total, man, the movie brought out a lot of emotions. It brought out a lot of emotions, even when the mom passed away. It brought out all the emotions. It brought out anger. It brought out sadness. You know, it brought out happiness. It brought out some points. It was scary. Like you know, when they were fighting and the man hit his hand with the pipe. You know, that was pretty like scary or whatnot. It brought out all the universal emotions. But again, I must say the reason why I liked it is because the storyline was so impactful to our everyday culture. You know, you got some people getting locked up at an early age. Police is involved to our black men, and they locking them up for basically nothing. Just because I got some priors and I got caught with a gun, I didn't hurt nobody. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't even sell any drugs to help kill somebody. You know, they say drug kills, whatever. You know, all he did was had a couple priors, and then he pulled out a gun, bro, to stop people, to say freeze. Come on, man. And he didn't even pull out a gun in the school zone at that. And you giving the man caught. Nah, we don't know. We don't know if he caught more charges in prison and prolonged his law. We don't know. We don't know if Creed 4 finna be talking about Jonathan Major. We don't know if Creed 4 gonna be talking about the daughter being a boxer now. We don't know what the case may be. We don't know the past or what happened to him while he was incarcerated. But that happens to us, man. You know, family oriented. A lot of things go on in the family household that needs to be spoken of. You know, like, hey, women need to address that they're really from Venus. Listen, just come out and say you from Venus. You know, like, we know you're on Earth, but we know you aliens. Women, we know you are aliens. Just come out and say you from Venus. No women want to come out and admit they from Venus. We got some things we need to talk about in the household. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, it's a lot of things need to be spoken about in the household, man, that, you know, to make things better, make ourselves better. So, yeah, so a lot of conversations need to be held that's not being held. and it's showing in that movie as well. Friendship, friendship gone bad. It's a lot of friendships gone bad, and we just don't want to man up or women up to reconcile. Even if we don't be buddy no more, at least leave on good terms. It's a lot of that. And jealousy, man, jealousy. Woo, your past. A lot of people dealing with past trauma. No excuses. If you're dealing with some past trauma, there is a way, bro. Like, there is a way. We're living in a time where there's access to everything. Even on your phone, you can find someone to speak to. And if that person's not speaking positive, you can shut that person out. There is absolutely no excuse. I have or had trauma. I have no excuse, man. You know what I'm saying? I have no excuse for any of my actions moving forward. Even though I was away, or even though I lost individuals that's close to me and that traumatized me, even whatever the case may be, even though I witnessed some things at a young age that I probably shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Even though I held, well, I don't want to incriminate myself. Oh, bring that back. I ain't gonna incriminate myself on here. Don't get me trying to incriminate myself, man. But I done seen a lot, been through a lot, I done a lot. And there's no excuse for me to have any excuses. Man, I done seen people cut themselves. I done seen people try to attempt to kill themselves, suicide right in my face. I done seen people passed away in my face. You hear what I'm saying? Stop it, man. I done been to Haiti. I done seen some things in Haiti. Bro, I'm not lying. You think I'm lying, man? I've been to Haiti and I seen some things in Haiti. I couldn't sleep in Haiti, man. I seen some things in Haiti. And remember, the Haitians, what they do in their everyday life is to them is normal. But when you take a person from the States and you bring them in Haiti, slow down. You're moving too fast. I haven't seen that before in my life. Don't think it's for me, it's not normal. I can't sleep now. You tripping. You done traumatized me. It's over with. I don't even know how I'm gonna live after this. Stop it. Stop it, please. And you want me to what? Come back next year? Says what? Listen, I ain't coming back, man. I ain't coming back. And it's your fault. I done seen some things, man. You know what I'm saying? There is no excuse. You've seen some things. Y'all been through some stuff. Y'all probably going through stuff right now. There's no excuse, man. And so with our past traumas, we shall find a way. With our past traumas, we need to find a way. Listen, man, I don't mean to get but things come to my head. I'm not getting religious. I'm not getting spiritual, but I just had a conversation and I just brought up, I was like, imagine us crossing the Red Sea. I just had a conversation like that. I'm like, imagine us crossing the Red Sea. Listen, you think them people crossing the Red Sea and had trauma? Let me run you through the people of the Red Sea. Listen, it's gonna be beautiful. It's not no religious, spiritual thing, nothing. I'm just saying, let's talk about that, right? Watch this. You're gonna like this. Watch this. You're being in bondage. You're being enslaved. Do this, do that. You're working every day. You're seeing people killed because they don't want to work. People losing. People tired to work. People getting whipped on the back because they can't push hard enough. You have me pushing these stones, building these stones. You got me digging my feet in the mud like this here to make clay and stones. I'm doing all type of work, tedious work, work that tripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm working. You're working me like a dog, right? I'm enslaved. You're working me like a dog. You're killing my people off. You don't give a damn about me, right? Boom, boom, boom. Now they finally get saved. Let my people go. Okay, he let his people go. They happy as hell. Oh, they happy as hell. So they get a couple miles off, right? Here come the Red Sea in front of them. Boom. How the hell they gonna cross over this? And they got to cross over because here come Pharaoh to change his mind. So you see all bunch of chariots coming this way about to kill you. You know they kill it. They ain't finna say come back. Come back, we taking y'all back. Nah, they coming to kill something. They right behind us. How you think the mentality of them slaves is? They was saying what you think they were saying, and that's just what they were saying. We're doomed. It's over with. Let me say my last prayer. They weren't even probably going to say my last prayers, but let me say my last prayers. I love you. This is the end of us. We're doomed. And then they started blaming. Moses, look where you took us at in the middle of a desert. We was better off left with Pharaoh. At least we was getting some food. At least we had hope for tomorrow. Right now, you been in the middle of nowhere, we dead. And then look at they petrified of them people, man, of Pharaoh. Petrified. I'm just talking about past trauma. Listen to trauma. They was traumatized. Now they about to be free. And then their mind is so slaved and deranged. Right, their minds is so much in bondage. Their mind is in bondage that they're scared of Pharaoh, and they believe they're gonna die, and they have no faith of what happened just now. They just freed you. You just been freed over years and years. Your ancestors were praying for this. Your ancestors told you one day y'all gonna be free. This is what your ancestors have put together. Finally brought up a savior, if you want to call him that, Moses. And now you have doubts. Tremendous amount of doubts to the point where you think you're going to die. Okay, let's move forward a little bit. I'm talking about trauma now. Listen to me. Let's move forward a little bit. Boom, they open up the Red Sea. Boom. Oh, whoa, the Red Sea's open up. They start walking in the Red Sea, all type of scare, fear. This though they don't talk about. The seashore. What you think they see on a seashore? Imagine yourself walking on the seashore of a sea. You know what the sea is? You can only go so far down, it starts being pitch black. No oxygen, it's a sea. Pitch black, you can only go so far deep where there's no oxygen. You're going to blow up, explode. Man has never been down there before in life. But now you're down there because the Red Sea opened up. You're seeing ships. You're seeing all type of stuff that people throwing in the sea. It's there. You're walking on it. You're seeing it. This is scary stuff. Not only that, but on the side of you is the water. So you're seeing whales pass by. You're actually seeing whales. You're seeing whales. You're seeing all type of animals. Perhaps animals you never seen before, because man has never been down here before. You're seeing animals floating in this water that's standing up. You're thinking the water finna come down and crush you at any moment. But you just keep walking. You keep walking. You keep walking. And then you finally see the water come down on Pharaoh and kill your enemies, bro. But even when that happened, days later, years later, you still having doubts. You still traumatizing your mind, man. That's why I say the mind is man. Once you convince yourself, nobody can change that except you, man. The Matrix has got you. You're living in bondage forever just because of your past trauma. You will not heal from your past trauma because you allow your past trauma to be the biggest monster you ever will encounter in your life. And that is not true, man. That's false. Past trauma is just what it's called. It's called past. Let it go. Allow yourself to know that there is better times and better days, and your past does not make up your present and future. Throw that past away, man. Okay, it was a big trauma. You overcame that. Don't allow that same mentality to linger on to the present and the future. Kill that. That's why Michael B. Jordan he buried that. Because he knew if he lived that day and day, it's not going to allow him to be the man he is. But some point in time, he had to just, express it because he had some people with him. He wasn't by himself. If he was by himself, he would have held that on for life. But you got some people that love you, and they see you down. You see you killing yourself, or it's killing you. They want to help. They want to know. They want to know that they can be all right next to you, with you. I'm just saying, let your past trauma go, man. And that's what this movie was all about. Let the past trauma go, man. Because had that past trauma been gone, he wouldn't have got out with a chip on his shoulder talking about, I want to come for everything you got. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. He would have never came out of jail, incarceration, talking about I want everything you got, if he would have just let his past trauma go, man. And that's just what we need to do. That's just what everybody else need to do, man. I do not blame anybody for my past, bro. And I know y'all don't neither. I don't blame anybody for not being there in my past. I don't blame anybody for not hollering at me in my past. Yeah, I set boundaries. Yeah, I use it as a tool to say, hey, I don't want to be like that, or I should be better, or you know what I mean? And it goes on and on. But your past is your past, man. And really all you have is the now. You're living now. And every now you know, every now will eventually lead up to what your future will be. You're living in the now. How do you handle the now? It's a beautiful book that I read, man, called The Power of Now. Oh my gosh, bro. And I don't, you know, now I don't read as much, right? I don't read as much as I used to, especially, you know, everybody who's been incarcerated read, which I did. But The Power of Now, I was like so amazed. I'm like, yes, all we have is now. The power of now. If we absolutely crush now, if we make the best decisions now, now is all we have. We don't have future. 10 minutes that haven't come yet. Bro, 5 minutes, bro, 60 seconds from now hasn't even come yet. The past is gone. All I have is now, man. What are you going to do now? And what mentality you going to have right now? Does it take for you to get knocked out? Does it take for you to get knocked out? And for you to get knocked out and lose your championship belt and know that I'm better than you, for you to realize that that was the wrong mentality for me to have all along? Come on, bro. It don't take for us to go through all this theatricals, to go through all these fights in Dodger Stadium, even for me to come out of retirement and beat your behind, for you to understand that the past is the past and we need to let it go. That's not the way to think. We ain't had to go through all this, bro. I was retired with my family chilling. I was chilling. I was doing good, man. I was wearing nice suits. My face was all nice. I ain't had no black eye, nothing. You took it here, man. You took it there, man. Huh? You took it there, man. Shame on you. But yo, I love y'all, man. I think this is the best review. Why I think this is the best review? Because we coming through perspective that the movie is coming through in those perspectives. Not just saying, hell yeah, boy, I came out that movie. That was a great movie, boy. Boy, yeah, and then this, he did this. Let's talk about how it relates to us. You know what I'm saying? That's why the sci-fi movies is straight entertainment. You ain't talking about how that relate to me, what happened. Man, they got some movies that be off the wall. Man, what that movie is, man, that you got this one movie, man. What's her name? What was her name? Angela Jolie. Angela Jolie, right? Where they had. Man, listen, man. It just, man, I ain't gonna go there. I'll never finish. But hey, man, I love y'all. I love y'all, man. I don't like movies that's like unrealistic. I like movies that I can relate to and that, you know, I can find some relationship with. You know, that's just me. But this movie was great. It had many points that's related to our culture, many points that hit home, many points that happen in our day to day. And again, overall, it was all about mental psychology. It was all about the psychic, man, psyche. It was all about the psyche of the person, man. How you thought, you know, the way he thought compelled him to be so ambitious towards someone else's success. And shame on them. And also what I walked away with, women, man, y'all women, man. Woo. Nah, let me stop. All right, love y'all, man. Love y'all, man. Peace, be good. Love yourself. Treat yourself right, man. Hey, go out, watch the movie. If you didn't watch it, watch it. Look at it from a different perspective again. Love yourself, man. And if you like these reviews, man, let me know. You know, let me know. Hit me up. You got my number. DM me. Whatever the case may be. Let me know if you want to see some movie reviews again. We'll go in on it again. It's up to y'all. But y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. And again, it's all about mental. All right. It's all about how we think. It's all about how we think. Let's think the best way. Let's not blame anyone, man. Love everyone. More love. More love. More love. Love y'all. Y'all have a great night. Y'all stay blessed. Always. For sure. Creed 3, man. JF Investment. Love y'all. Everybody who's on here, man. Lubins, everybody, man. Bless. See y'all on the next one. For sure.